Okay, guys, welcome to News for the Blind. I'm here with Nicholas Pride, who's running for office in 2020, right? 2020?
That is 100% right.
What office are you going to run for, sir?
President of the United States. I
Okay.
plan on doing that. I've wanted to run since I was 23. I'm sick and tired of seeing the same thing over and over. Nobody's actually trying to help this country, no matter how many times they continue to say that. When you're sending money overseas and you're bombing the shit out of other countries that don't have militaries, you can't continuously tell me that it's helping me in any way and continuously try to sell that point over and over. It's not going to work.
Now,
And America is finally coming out and waking up to that fact. Now I don't see as many people sticking up for Trump. I don't see as many people saying that the wars are for freedom. They're actually seeing that they are war crimes and people should finally be charged.
Well, that's important because I know on Thursday, on Thursday, Trump went ahead and bombed a Syrian military airbase in violation of international law. He said he did it for so-called, you know how he always starts off as for the defense of the nation, national security. To bomb a nation on another continent is national security. But yet, scary enough as it is, I saw this post today by a friend of mine on Facebook, and she posted that this guy made a post on Twitter that even if this attack leads to World War III and the world gets nuked, it's better than Hillary being in office. So I was like, really?
Well, what Trump did is already an impeachable offense, seeing that he did not take the proper steps. He didn't even go through Congress, which you have to do.
Well, I mean, but the fact that this is what I fear that when he got into office, because let me predate this. I am not in favor of either of the candidates. I said it myself. Don't vote for any one of them, especially after that APAC speech, where he said he would literally drop bombs for Israel, and that's what he's doing, anyways.
Right. And that's exactly what he's doing. He is dropping bombs for Israel, and Israel is dropping bombs for Israel. Israel just bombed 2 churches in Egypt. I mean, they want to call it ISIS, but everybody understands, if you've done any real research, that it's the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how people think that poor Muslims are getting all these weapons and getting trucks from Texas over to their countries, and then not understanding that they are being brought over there by the U.S. for Israel.
Precisely. I mean, I have an intuition about this attack too, because the funniest thing about it was, before this attack happened, Trump's son-in-law, the Jew, Jared Kushner, went to Iraq. Supposedly he was given money by the Jew George Soros. Of course, that's not his real name, but that's a different story. And I believe he was there to meet and plan this attack and coordinate it. And then when he came back, that's when the chemical attack happened. All Trump's neocon Jew advisors and Masons all said, it's all Russia and Assad who did this, and it makes no logical sense. Why would Assad, when he's winning the war, why would he launch chemical attacks if he's winning the war? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, when you actually look at what has been said and who has actually said it, the UN even told everybody that it was the rebels, not the Assad regime, that did it. I'm sorry, but if the UN came out and told you that Israel was doing more crimes against Palestine and Gaza, which they did earlier this year, and then they had to recant it, probably because of death threats from Israel, and now they do it again, and you're probably going to be seeing that get recanted here pretty shortly for the same reason. We have let Zionists take too much control of not only our country, but of other countries as well. We have helped them maintain and manufacture Afghanistan, Iraq, and other countries. We already know that they want a greater Israel, and that's what they're aiming for. It's up to the people to stand up, get get out and actually make a difference. It's time for the cities and the families to come together and actually want to be a family and actually want to love each other. But what we continuously see on the media, what we continuously see on TV, is violence and hate. And your kids now are acting like your TV because a lot of parents, for whatever reason, don't want to take care of them. They want to just drop them off at daycare, drop them off at schools. And that's why I'm running, is because I want to change that kind of mindset. I want to open up more daycares. I want to open up adoption centers in the hospitals. I actually want to see families come together and us strive like we used to.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I mean, well, I should have done this in the beginning, but tell my viewers about yourself, a little bit about yourself. Your stance, your history and so forth. Your family background, your background, all those how you arrived at this junction in your life. What really made you really come out and want to run for office?
When I was 19, I went into the Army and I did basic training in AIT. I went in 2004, and the whole basis around that was because I guess I was just one of those gullible people when I was young. Saw the World Trade Centers when I was 16. Thought that it was an actual real thing, and thought that we really needed to go out and stop people. And then when I failed my physical training after IT, it hit me, and I really, really wanted to find out why the hell I was doing it. So I researched and realized that there's no possible way that a plane could have taken down the building. There's no possible way that a plane was what ran into the Pentagon if you look at the hole. There's no way that there was a plane that hit the ground in Pennsylvania because there was not even any debris. So that was my whole start of wanting to make a political drive. Did I think that I was going to be just jumping in, trying to get into presidency right off the bat? No. But a political goal was always in the back of my mind since I was 23 years old. I've known that I wanted to get into politics. I've known that I wanted to get to know more people. I've known that I wanted to try to make this place a better place. That's why I have the job I have now, where I'm helping people that are mentally, physically disabled. And they really can't do 100% things for themselves. So you have to be there to actually help the people and actually care about them. And that's what I'm hoping to do when I get in office, is I can actually take control and try to take care of more people than what I am now.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that really, really is awesome. We're actually similar in that respect. I mean, I am an educator and working with at-risk kids, and which is one of the worst, hardest job in the world. I mean, having to deal with at-risk kids who really who don't care about education. And you were talking about earlier about how it's like a daycare center, the education system, where the parents are just dropping the kids off, and so they have to deal with them for those 8-9 hours or so a day. And when the kids come home, there's no one home.
Right. My plan with the whole daycares and everything is I don't want the government to be involved in them. Like right now, all your daycares, all your schools, everything, the government is involved in them. So the parents, for whatever reason, they actually have a thing stating the state owns your kids, not the parents. Well, I need to get rid of that for any of my goals to actually become legit. Like, I want parents to have 100% control over their own kids. That's what you need to get back to. I want these daycares to be run by families for families. Like, say 20 moms or 20 dads have jobs and they need their kids to be watched. So you have a daycare and it's free. And these 20 parents can watch these kids, and then when they have to go to work or whatever, there's still the other people that have different work schedules that can stay back and watch these. Hillary Clinton said a long time ago, it takes a village to watch the children.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it takes a community to watch the children. It doesn't take a government to watch them. CPS, EHHS, Planned Parenthood, Common Core, these these are all things that we as individuals can do. We can do education. We can make our own choices about our lives. We can make our own choices about vaccines. But the government is trying to force these things down our throat and trying to tell us these things are good for you, when most people can look at the government and say, no, it's not good for me. When most people can realize that they don't want to label GMOs, that they don't want to let you know exactly what's going on. So that's my whole push of trying to get in. That's my whole push of trying to get support, and my whole stance behind it is letting Americans actually have their families back.
Yes, I always thought with the healthcare. I mean, not the healthcare, the daycare system in this country that's always been geared, just like healthcare, towards profits and greed and setting it up so that people can make money off other people. And of course, they call this progress in capitalism, which we all know is not progress. It's literally trading in, really just it's literally sacrificing other human beings for money. That's what it is. I mean, is there a viable reason that people should have to pay to live on this planet? We are the only species that pays to live on this planet, and everything we do from the moment you wake up is geared towards money. So, what's really should be the focus? Should the focus be on money, or in actual creating a world where human beings actually live for each other? You know, but we don't have.
Well, my goal is to make it be about resources. We have so many resources in this country if people actually use them the way they were supposed to. If we didn't have the regulations on solar power, wind power, water power, and different things that actually would be able to drive costs down and make it so you don't need money. If everybody planted trees, we wouldn't have to go and get more friggin' of this air and stuff for your house. We wouldn't need more purified air. We wouldn't. It's all just a game for the capitalists, the businesses, the Zionists, the Masons. It's just a game to make you control and make you think that you need to go and get these things. You know, if everybody stopped going to the store tomorrow and actually looked and saw, hey, this is what I have, this is what I have, and actually put it all together, you could actually strive and make something better. But people only care about themselves nowadays. It comes down to greed. It comes down to, hey, I don't want to be with my family. I'm going to work 150 hours every single week. And I'm not going to spend any time with my kids. And then when the kids disrespect you, somehow parents don't understand why that happens. You need to be able to teach your children. You need to be able to have time with them. And you need to be able to show people that you can actually be with your kids and know what they're going through. A lot of parents that I see nowadays have no idea what their kids are going through because their kids don't talk to them or they don't even try to talk to their kids. They'd rather just have their kids sit in front of a TV or they'd rather just go out with their friends drinking. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Now, I take a more extreme views of these matters, and I've always said all the roads.
Everything from the money.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's where, like I said, 9/11 started it, but my whole drive behind it is getting that family-oriented back together and actually using what we have to better each other. You don't need the government to do entitlement. You don't need the government handing out money. You don't need the government in your lives. The government just needs to get out and let you do it on your own. That's how you strive forward, is by giving yourself power, not giving it to somebody else. That's why my whole religious thing, I don't have a religion. I believe in what people call higher power, I guess, but my higher power is the energy of others. My higher power is my brain and where my focus leads me. That's what I believe in, and that's what I believe your spirit is the focus and the mindset that you had here when you die. That energy Christian, Muslim, Jew, and I mean, if that's your religion, that's your religion, whatever. The only people I have a problem with are the people trying to take control, which most people, well, I don't even know if I can say most, but most scholars understand that it's Israel that has that control, and you can see it everywhere when you look at this country. From our Department of Homeland Security, from APEC, from the media, from the banks. They're all owned by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and people that are big-time Zionists and pro-Israel.
Well, I take a more direct route because my own awakening. I mean, I started off really listening to the Jew Michael Wiener Savage, real name of course Michael Wiener, a Russian Jew, and I really believe this whole narrative about whole conservatism and liberalism is a disease, and liberals are trying to kill us all. But then I had my awakening in I want to say in 2009, right after my surgery, and I had the time to step back and look at everything. And I noticed every single election cycle was the same problem. People kept saying the same thing: healthcare, foreign policy, war, economic. I'm like, it's the same problems every single election cycle. So who controls the money? Who's really playing all these people? And it turns out to be Jewish finance capital, Jewish groups, really pushing all these things. And my focus always has been on exposing them and making sure that they go back to how to put this in a nice way. Basically, back to where I was in the Byzantine Empire, where they were just sheltered away from society, you know, and that's how. And it's the best course for everyone involved. You're I mean you're an interesting part because your family life is not it's a bit similar to mine. I mean you talk to your family and yet you don't talk much to your family, but you still have big family values. How did that stay a part of your life? I'm wondering.
Um, well, me and my dad don't talk because we have differences of opinions. He believes in the whole mainstream friggin'. He believes that everybody should go out and work 90 hours and that you should just pretty much, like we were talking about, just strive for money, pretty much try to prove yourself to people and friggin' try to outperform and make yourself look better instead of using the money to actually help people that need help. Like, if people used money wisely, this wouldn't even be a conversation. I wouldn't even give a fuck. If people actually use their money to actually try to help each other, and people weren't talking bad about the homeless, or people weren't talking bad about people with mental disabilities and different things, it wouldn't even be a conversation. But that's what money has led to. Now people want to go out and buy $26,000 cars instead of giving somebody that friggin' has kids that doesn't have food $100 to help them out. And that's the issue. Like, when I get my check, I promised 3 kids that if they're good while I'm at work, hey, I will make sure that I bring you guys to Walmart. I will make sure that you guys get something that you want from the store as a reward for behaving. You don't have that anymore. Now friggin' everybody friggin' just lets their kids act whatever way they want. Doesn't even try to give them a reward or anything. Like, they just yell at them, try to put them in timeout. Friggin' some of them are smacking their kids and stuff. And these are the parents that CPS actually lets keep their kids. And then you have situations where people look at it as a success because their parents are getting their child back. But there was a case where a father had to pay $200,000 for a lawyer because the investigator who was asking the kid lied and told him that the kid said he was touching him. Well, with the $200,000, the lawyer was able to get the interview back. And what had happened was he asked the kid, "Did your father touch your penis?" The kid says no. He asked him if the father ever touched him sexually. The kid says experience when you're in the shower. Obviously, if the kid is small enough and he needs to be bathed, obviously his dad's going to. So the kid said yes, and that was the only thing they had as a reason to take away this child. CPS kept the kid for 6 months before they give him back, and that's what we call a success. Like, these are the stories that they keep hidden in the mainstream news. Just like the whole pedogate thing, just like Trump actually went and got 1,500 pedophiles. These are things that are keeping out of the mainstream while focusing on sorry.
It's okay.
Focusing on stuff like the flags and all this other stuff that they're saying is leading to hate, or the whole focus of guns are killing people. No, people are killing people. That's how it's been for my entire life. People kill people. I'm sorry, oranges don't jump out of trees and start killing people either. It never happened. But these are the things that your news is talking about. Like, that has absolutely nothing to do with anything that's really going on. I'm sorry, but pedophilia, yeah, it's a huge, huge problem. The mainstream's not picking it up. The bullying in school, it's a huge, huge problem. They're not picking it up. The schools nowadays, I had somebody who went to school and a kid punched him twice. All the other kid did was threaten back. They both got the same punishment.
Well, it's actually getting worse because now they have this new initiative started last year to and this is where if you're white, it's gonna really hurt you because they're trying to keep more minorities out of being suspended and put out of school suspension, but of course nothing is said about white kids. And of course, they're focusing mostly on blacks and Latinos. Now, I'm an African guy, and I know for a fact that with the blacks, the reason that they're in this situation when it comes to always put out of school and all this is because they don't have a good family structure at home. So ultimately, if the family structure is not right, the school can't really. There's so little the schools can do to set it right when the parents themselves don't give a damn. And I see all the time. So by trying to keep the kids out of being suspended, what about everyone else in the classroom who needs to learn? And you have these other kids in here who are disrupting the school. What should you do with them? I mean, obviously that's why suspension exists, to give them a break and say, hey, you need to just spend some time at home away from everyone else for our own sake, for our own sanity. Yes, I mean, really, that's just the truth of the matter. But of course, with the blacks and Latinos and social justice warriors always yelling about that it has to be about fairness and equality. I'm like, well, some people are just born unequal. That's just the truth of the matter.
Right. If you look at it, everybody wants to friggin' say racist, bigot, sexist, fascist. Those are shit that the friggin' everybody's saying now. I'm sorry, I'm not a racist. You're black. I have friggin' people that are friends that are Asian. I have friends that are Hispanic. I'm far from a racist. But I understand the rationales of things. And I understand that you put a whole bunch of different diverse groups in with each other. And so not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. There are going to be a select few or a select group that is paid by certain individuals, Soros and other individuals, to get riots and chaos started. And that's because chaos can bring forth a new world order that they want. And that's what the whole bombing in Syria, the bombing in Egypt, and all this is trying to drive up. It's to make people actually go crazy and freaking start a lot of chaos. I'd just like to tell the people, please don't panic. We can strive together, we can unite and actually make a difference if that's the route that the people want to go to. But a lot of people are looking at it from a different side of things and not really realizing the seriousness of where we're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are thinking that it's just going to be like every other time, oh, they're just going to bomb over there, we'll be okay. Well, at some point, if you continuously bomb these countries, you're going to piss off some people. And they seriously will come and actually do something over here.
Wow.
and that's
Now,
and
this
that's
is
so
the reason I'm a
that's
big supporter of your campaign is, you are a national socialist, and a lot of people have this misconception that National Socialism is about racism.
that
It's really
has
about
nothing to do
racialism,
with.
huh?
It's probably the farthest thing from racism as you can get. It
Yes,
really is. You want like people don't understand when people are against mixed races. They're not saying they're against it because they hate that race.
exactly. I mean, and just like it's really about the love of your own people. That's what it's
Right.
always been about. I mean, it's always been about racialism and making sure your own people are protected and healthy and thriving. You want
Right.
the same for all other people as well. As
And to
separate
keep
but
your
strong
culture thriving.
entities.
Yeah, it's to keep the culture. It's to keep your heritage. It's to make you remember where you came from.
Exactly, and this is one of the things that I feel that this society, this whole world really needs. And but let's change it. Let's talk about economics, okay? More about economics because you're one of the few candidates out there besides Ron Paul who was talking about the Federal Reserve. Of course, he was talking about auditing the Federal Reserve. And while I'm sorry, go ahead.
I want to initially audit it. At some point, I'd like to shut it down entirely. But I couldn't. I would love to shut it down right off the bat, but with the money situation and the people, I couldn't do that to the people right off the bat. There would be too many people that would go straight into the ground and not know how to handle it. So I'd like to audit it first, and then I'd like to shut it down within the first 2 years.
Amazing. I mean, that would be simply amazing. If that would be able to done. I always had this vision of my own first 100 years in office, no, first 100 days in office, where obviously the first thing I would do is shut down the Federal Reserve. Institute an actual barter and trade system type economy with no currency. People don't understand with no currency there can be no manipulation of markets in one
Right.
way. Also, but I mean, you're one of the few people. I mean, Trump himself will not. We all know he won't touch the Federal Reserve. I mean, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, ever.
He's not going to go after the Federal Reserve because he wouldn't give up his own money to pump his dad's.
Yeah, I mean, they did help put. I mean, literally, the Jews are the ones who helped put him in power. I mean, they literally,
Right.
they literally bankrolled his entire hotel empire when he went bankrupt all those times. He kept on going back to Jewish Rothschild money to get himself back on the up and up. So we know who his loyalties lies to. I mean,
well, all you have to do is look at Kushner, like you were talking about earlier.
The son-in-law. I mean,
that's all you have to do to know where he got his money from.
Nepotism. Oh God, nepotism.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just awful what's happening. But let's keep talking about. I mean, now, is there a reason why you chose presidency? I mean, a lot of people who have ambitions for political office, they start off small, like local politics, controller, or local judge.
I was thinking about possibly running for mayor in 2018, doing 2 years, and then doing president. I'm just going to put all my effort into actually making a campaign and speak. The reason why I just want to straight go after president is because nobody thinks that it's possible for anybody that's not a billionaire or a businessman or this stuff to get in. Well, a lot of these presidents actually weren't rich until they got the money to drive them into power. Like JFK wasn't that rich of a man, but he had people around him that paid for him to have people to tell him how to do speeches and all this stuff. JFK, a lot of people don't know this, but he was not that great of a speaker. He was taught by 4 of the greatest speaking teachers in the country at that time to speak as well as he was able to.
You're actually a very good speaker, and you have the ability to connect with different people from different backgrounds.
That's right.
That's not something a lot of politicians can do today in this society.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Exactly. If you look, these presidents now have the same kind of people, the same kind of groups over and over. That's not what I'm about at all. That's not the campaign I want at all. I want a campaign where it's helping the poor and the middle class. These people are running a campaign where they're telling you that they want to help you with a good health care plan. They tell you that they want to help you with good education, but they're not actually doing anything about it. The money just continuously goes to the same people, and it's actually not helping us at all.
Wow. Indeed. So, I mean, you're putting this together very nicely. I'm assuming your plans to raise money will revolve around. I mean, okay, well, are you going to focus on the money aspect of your campaign to gain money, or are you just going to focus on the social media aspect?
I'm going to be focusing on both. I'm actually also going to be focusing a lot more than just on social media. I plan on actually traveling, getting out and meeting people. I'm coming down to Houston in July. I'm going to Florida in August. My brother's over in Florida. I'm also hoping my brother will come over to Houston before I go there. And I'm actually going to reach out and try to talk to these people, let them know, hey, I'm like you. I'm not rich. I'm not what everybody else is trying to be. I'm like them. That's pretty much my whole standpoint. I'm not trying to hurt any of these people. I am these people.
Wow.
I don't see myself as any higher than them. I'm not any lower than them. We're equal. That's what this country needs, is love, peace, and humanity. We don't need money. We don't need greed. We don't need selfishness. And that's where we're turning the corner and going in the wrong direction.
Absolutely. I mean, I talk about this. I just talk about this in my secret group about how I wish the members there would literally, meet up. It's always good to educate on the forums, but if you're not really making an effort to strive to meet and discuss and plan, because that's how the Jews have done a very masterful job of networking through different races and different groups, and that way going forward and building and building different connections. I mean, you see all the time with the Arabs and Jews working together, Muslims and Jews fighting against the Trump ban on travel ban. And you're actually one of the people actually going out to actually to actually meet different people, which is awesome.
Right. Well, I absolutely love people. I'm obviously a person. But that is seriously the problem, is people nowadays don't want to get out. They don't want to freaking talk to people. A lot of people have anxiety or are paranoid that something bad is going to happen because they spend their time sitting in front of their TV watching people talk about how bad things are. Things aren't as bad as they're making it out to be. And that's what people need to realize. You need to get out. You need to see your city. You need to see your community. You have to actually reach out and try to make a change for the better. The world's not just going to change on its own if you don't make the effort. You can't sit on your ass and freaking act like you're going to get a job and never pick up a job application.
That is true. Though in some cases, I will say that you're networking people who are looking like how I got my job. It's just someone just like kind of just told the person that bought me, and then they called me and they said, "Hey, you want to come work for us?" It's like, interesting. But I want to talk about foreign policy because this is another thing that bugs the heck out of me. APAC, all these Jewish lobbyist groups. Because I call them Zionists, it's all government. I call it straight up Jewish because that's what it is. Foreign policy. I mean, it's When will this nation stop dropping bombs on third world countries? That's just that's. I mean,
I already have that plan pretty much in the works. When I get into office, I plan on pulling 60% of the troops home within the first month and leaving 40% out at bases. These bases, I would like to have the support of Russia, Iran, and China, and I'm willing to work out, like I said earlier, I do not want to go about money. I want to go about resources, and I'd like to do resource trades with these countries.
okay.
Like, we already have China making a lot of our stuff. Russia has already pulled away from the Federal Reserve and that type of bank there. And, I mean, Syria and the stuff they're going through, I'd also like to send some humanity aid to them. We don't need to be dropping bombs. We don't need to be sending missiles. I could make a friggin' shoot just like a friggin' missile shoot and send food over to these friggin' countries. That's the way we should be doing things. Let's send friggin' people stuff they need. And stop telling people what gives us the right to go bomb a country because we say somebody else gassed his own people. Yeah, he gassed his own people. He didn't gas us. What gives us the right to be the world police? There's nothing that says that we have that right. We just somehow do it, and nobody tries to stop us because of the allies we have.
Well, yes. I mean, I believe one day you keep pushing the people and keep pushing them, and they will react. And of course, they have the blowback of the all these how to put this. People say ISIS is blowback. I won't say it's blowback. It's all being coordinated and defined exactly how they want it to go along. I think the ultimate blowback will be one day one of the countries seeing what we're doing will just say, you know what, you come at us the wrong way, and we will not forget this. But that is definitely a good start. Now, a big thing people talk about in this country is immigration. I mean, which is what helped Trump get into office. His promise to build the wall, which frankly is it really is a waste of money because they just let the border agents do their jobs. There wouldn't be a need for the wall. There would not be a need for the wall. But the question at the end of the day is what to do with the 10 to 15 million unregistered aliens just walking around the country. People say, well, we deport them, but I don't see how that's possible. You have to go literally ask everyone, hey, are you a legal immigrant? Do you have your papers?
You don't need to send anybody anywhere if you get rid of the money and you do it with resources.
Please elaborate.
You give people their rights. I mean, obviously, if you murder somebody, no, I'm not deporting you. You're getting the fullest extent.
Now, yes.
But for some reason, these are the things that have been happening with ICE and with Homeland Security. These people go and behead people, rape people, and they get deported just to walk back across. That's not going to happen in my America. No, you will get charged to the fullest extent. I plan on shutting down law enforcement and letting the people in their cities pick what cops they want. You don't let the government go and find whatever the fuck they want. You let the city pick who they think are the best people, the best in line for those jobs.
Because I've always wondered with the black community, why don't they have, black people policing themselves? Obviously, I believe it's not going to solve anything else, but it'll make more accountable the argument that, hey, you cannot say that it's white cops targeting black kids. Though the argument was done successfully in Baltimore, and where I think it was Freddie, what's his name, Freddie Gray or whatever, when he got arrested by own black cops. But I think really the community should, police themselves. But
Exactly. That's 100% how it should be. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't need cops everywhere. I definitely don't plan on going and getting more military vehicles or having people scared to freaking walk down the street because of freaking protests and different things. You get rid of the law enforcement, you hire the right people for the jobs, you make the jails a lot smaller than they are, you stop arresting people for freaking disorderly conduct, for freaking fine, for freaking trespassing in freaking a yard that nobody's even living on, and you stop the stupidity.
yes, now because I believe this country, well, it's a fact. This country has one of the most highest incarcerated, first world nations on the face of the planet. I mean, and a lot of people in jail for really petty stuff like what, smoking pot, selling dope. I mean, should people really be doing 20 plus years for smoking pot and selling dope? And of course, it leads to a lot of overcrowding in the prison systems. And don't even get me started on the corporations that literally take these people to work them for. So yeah, like I was saying, I mean, with the incarceration going on and all these cheap labor being provided in the prison system, the prison industries is called that's really used to help these corporations establish profits for cheap, very very cheap labor, being exploited just like the immigrants are being exploited for cheap labor as
Right.
well, which of course doesn't help the American worker when they're trying to get fair wages out there in the marketplace. Um, but
Right. And my plan is also you don't send people to jail for drugs. I plan on decriminalizing. If Big Pharma can use the same exact drugs and make it legal just because a pharmacist says it's okay, it should be fine for the people to do the drugs they want to if that is what they want to do. You have to give people real freedoms. You can't continuously take them away and make them feel like slaves, which is exactly what the job does, which is exactly what the school does. These aren't making you better people. These are making you actually less of people. Having a boss tell you what to do, that's being a slave. That's you not having control of what you actually want to do.
yes, because I mean, people say, well, if you smoke, if you do drugs, and you get caught, you have to deal with the consequences. But the consequences shouldn't be going to jail because you want to just smoke a little bit of pot, or you want to. I mean, it's like drinking. I mean, yes, consequences obviously if you drink too much, you're gonna fuck up your own health, you know.
Right.
But of course, if you cross the boundaries, like you get in the car behind the wheel and you're intoxicated, and you do, get into a wreck or someone dies in the process. Yes,
Do you
there's
know what
consequence. Huh?
do you know what methadone and Suboxone are by any chance?
Yeah, methadone is for recovering heroin addicts, right? That's what it's used for.
It is a synthetic heroin. It's a synthetic heroin to help heroin addicts.
And that is something I've been noticing because this girl I was talking to a few days ago, she is on methadone and it does have side effects and side.
Oh, it makes you gain weight. It does everything that heroin does, and it actually is more addictive because these people are getting it for free, and doctors are dosing up instead of down.
Wow.
Yep.
And of course, to me the biggest drug dealers are the big pharmaceutical industries pushing.
It's been that way forever. Ever since Big Pharma hit, they've been the biggest drug dealers. Ever since freaking the CIA freaking did Iraq-Contra.
Wow.
It's nothing new. I mean, we just did Fast and Furious in Mexico. I mean, what do you think that was for? We gave them guns for... we give them guns for drugs. That's how this has always gone. That's how the CIA and these secret services have always worked, is by doing these things. We have our troops over in Afghanistan, not because Afghanistan's a threat, not because there's still people that could actually do something there, groups actually watch and protect to make sure that other people cannot take it from them.
Yes, because they're literally the ones guarding these giant poppy fields and to rake in money off the heroin. I mean, the CIA has been involved in with the drug, this false drug war on drugs. You know, all these drug gangs are literally were founded here in the United States prisons under the watch of the government to really to go around and spread drugs into our communities. You know, the neo-Nazi idiots keep on saying that they think it's a race issue, but it's really not.
It's far from a race issue.
No, yeah, it really isn't, and it's good. It's good to see that now. You know, I mean, you know, I like that you talk about family values because this, you know, I want to talk about now with family values, you know, and with the rise of feminism, so-called gay rights. You know, do you is part of your, oh sorry, go ahead.
I don't believe in any group rights. I don't care what group it is. I see humans as humans, and all humans should have the same respect, the same dignity that's given towards everybody else. I don't have a problem with gay people. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with black people. What I do have a problem is you trying to promote that shit on the street and you freaking wearing Speedos in front of fucking kids. That's my problem.
Oh yeah, I mean, kids. I mean, these are young, developing minds who they don't even know about sex. I mean, they really don't. You know, and to see this as a part of as normalization, and of course, I mean, a lot of these people also end up being pedophiles as well, and normalizing this kind of crap. You know, my issue has always been even down to even race mixing. That why should it be pushed as a norm and marketed and shoved down people's throat? I mean, people are gonna. There've always been gays throughout history. There's always been people who have fallen in love with members of different sex or even of the same sex. But when it's pushed, you know, it really takes it out of people's hands.
And what people don't realize, like people freaking don't see a rainbow flag. How many adults really are like, wow, that's great, a rainbow flag, I can't wait to see another one. No, the kids are drawn into that shit. The kids love rainbows. The kids love parades. The kids love going out and freaking being able to dress differently. And that's exactly what it is. It's to propagandize and promote to the next generation that's coming in and trying to dumb them down and trying to make them freaking not have the right mindset to make their own decisions.
Precisely right. I mean,
and I see it all the time. Friggin' parents bring their kids to these things. I see straight parents going to the gay pride parade. Yeah, because you're how's that helping you? Why don't you just give over your rights? It makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly, precisely.
It comes back to what I was saying earlier. Why would you give somebody else power over you?
Precisely right. I mean, I just, and you know, it's funny because I mean, I obviously have met a lot of gay people. My issue with them, I've always said, is that keep. I really believe it's no one cares who the hell wants to sleep with whomever. You know, I just don't believe in pushing these things against the wishes of families because you're really forming. I mean, I'm gonna just call it what it is. You really are pushing the Jewish cultural Marxist agenda. You know, of no family values of any kind. Anything goes. You know, same with pornography, which is funny on my website. My number one post on my website isn't about Jews or Trump. It's about porn. All the identities of all the porn stars. You know, I don't know. I mean, are you going to tackle this issue in your presidency as well, pornography, or just let people keep as they are?
I'm going to talk to the people.
Elaborate, please.
I'm going, like I said, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be going to cities, and I'm going to be trying to talk to some of the schools. I'm going to be talking to parents. I'm going to be trying to figure out exactly the route to go as far as the TV, as far as the pornography, and the different things that are being a lot more easy to be brought to the family, that are brought to the kids. I mean, all you have to do is type in 4 wrong letters nowadays, and you can find a site that you should be watching.
Oh yeah, I mean it's literally all over the internet. It's literally all over the internet. I mean, all these free porn sites and such. And I mean, I feel bad for. I mean, if you're a parent, you don't know really all the parental controls. Your kid's internet is just wide open. Which, of course, I use internet myself as a, for my website. But at the same time, I also realize it also has some cons, like everything in this world.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, so let's keep moving. So let's talk about the issue of abortion, because that's also something that helped Trump get into office. Believe it or not, now that he's in office, people are expecting him to do something about abortion. I'm not really sure.
Well, I was saying earlier, I plan on shutting down Planned Parenthood. I plan on putting the daycares and everything more out there. I plan on putting the adoption clinics in the hospitals and making it easier for the family to actually stay together.
Okay.
I want families to take care of families. I want people to take care of people. That's what I want. I don't want this whole I need somebody else to wipe my ass for me agenda. Like, these people feel so entitled that they seriously will. They will sit on their couch their whole day just waiting for their check on the 1st, and they will be broke by the 15th and have to go bum money. No, that's not how you're supposed to live. You should have goals. You should want more.
Well, of course, I know that it's only as good as their motivation and drive in life.
Right.
I work 3 jobs, and part of it is to provide for myself, but it's also, no offense, but I really feel a day of just sitting home doing nothing all day. It frightens me a little bit. every day I have to wake up. I have to have some kind of purpose in life to go and do something out there. But there are people who are happy just sitting home. I know the Xbox can be fun, but ultimately, there has to be more to life than just a government assistant, welfare, because that really is the easy way out of everything.
You have freaking 19, 20, 21-year-olds going to Social Security, filing for it under the guise of bipolar and depression. These are things that anybody can get. Everybody has mood swings. Everybody has a bad day, okay? Everybody feels down every now and then. These are things that everybody has that anybody can freaking go and do. And we have people actually going and doing that. I plan, like I said, I want to shut down the Federal Reserve within my first 2 years. And when that happens, people are going to have to get off their ass and start fucking doing something to actually do it. And you can either go my way and start doing the whole resources and actually trying to help out your fellow Americans, or you can go your own way and you can sit in your house and have nothing. That's up to the people. I can't tell them what to do. They can't tell me what to do. I've never backed down. Anybody that knows me knows that I keep it real. I keep it 100, and that's how I'm going to keep it.
Absolutely.
I've never backed down from the government in my life. I've had 4 death threats in the last 2 years from views on my Facebook page. Cool, keep going. If you're going to waste a bullet on some poor kid in freaking Maine, that's on you.
I think that's what keeps us kind of in the safe zone. They ban me all the time. This. I'm currently on a 30-day ban. My ban is over on May 4th, and they got me by going back a whole year till June on post I made on July 1st of 2016, because it had the N word attached to it. I'm like, really? Really? You have to go back that far, just because I was getting all these new followers and all these new people listening to what I'm doing. And of course I still have my website up, and people still share my links all over Facebook. So it's like they're not really
Oh,
accomplishing anything.
oh,
That's what I don't get.
I've gotten bans for everything. I've done bans for Hitler was right. I've done bans for fuck the Jews, fuck the Thais. Like, these are things that they just ban everybody for nowadays. Is you talking bad about a specific group, and like, because that's who's controlling.
Yeah, it's funny
But
with them. You can talk bad about every group but whites. I mean, but Jews. But you can talk bad about every group in the world. But, except for the Jews. You can't talk about the Jews. You can't talk about blacks. You can't talk about Latinos. You can't talk about
right,
Asians. You can't talk about females. But you can talk about white males. Yeah, that's not a problem. There's
right.
no problem with that.
Oh, you can talk about just whites in general. Freaking a person made a group last year called Kill All Whites, and the Facebook did not ban it.
Yeah, well, in fact, I started before they banned me. I started this campaign where every time I would, I posted something that I could blame on Jews. I put thank Jews on it, and they were like, oh, okay, well he's thinking us in a good way. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm exposing you at the same time, but they couldn't really wrap their mind around it, what I'm doing.
Oh,
Of course,
I love trolling the shit out of it. I really do.
oh,
I love seeing how pissed off. I love seeing what they're gonna say back. I'm cool. You want to call me a glam? Yeah, I know where it's coming from. I read the same shit you do. Like, people don't understand when I say I don't get offended. I don't get offended. I don't really care about people's opinions.
well, that's awesome.
Why. Because I have that ambition. I have that drive. I don't give a fuck about the haters, man.
And of course, they're always trying to find new ways to ban people and such. But I mean, it's funny. Like, we've been friends on Facebook for a couple of years now. I mean, I met you through my secret group. The secret group is called Freedom Like a Shopping Cart. Ironically, it's taken from a Jewish song from the Jewish band NoFX, punk band NoFX. I was like, wouldn't it be nice to have a group that's in Jews yet still yet have the Jewish name? That's the only reason the Facebook has not officially banned my group, because they can't really put a finger on the title of the group name itself or even the picture we have up.
and that's how we met, and that's how we become good friends. I had no idea what that site was when I clicked on it. I had no idea what it was gonna be about, and I saw it, and then it's been my favorite site ever since.
Yeah, I've had like some. I have secretly been thinking about shutting down the group sometimes, to be honest, because some of the members are now on the up and up as to everything that's going on. But I added some of them because I sensed some potential until this later, Trump, thing happened, and now people are like, and even have some members still like making excuses. I'm like, really? I mean, what will he have to do for you to open your eyes that he is under Jewish control? But the group say, oh, no, it's better than Clinton, than Hillary. Even though we all will die anyways in the end, it's still better than Hillary. Like, really? Gosh.
If you bomb another country without your country being hit, I guarantee you 100% it's for Israel.
Of course. Of course.
So anybody that's still supporting Trump, or anybody that still supports the presidency and what's going on, obviously does not care about humanity, peace, or love, which is the three things that I was talking about earlier. Those are the three things we need to make this country great again. And I plan on putting this country first, not putting other people before my people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a guarantee. That's a 100% guarantee. The people that I'm going to see every day need to come first.
I mean, that's absolutely awesome.
I love my brothers. I love my sisters that I see every day. I freaking have been babysitting freaking up here since I think I started babysitting 9 years now up in the city. I only have one blood nephew. He's down in Florida, but I have 11 kids that call me uncle up here because that's how close of a bond I have with people in my community. That's how often I get out and actually talk to people. I don't hide in my room. I don't freaking do any of that. I'm not hiding. I'm not scared. I need to get out. I need to show people you can do something. You can do something better. My number one message to the kids has always been dream big. That I don't know if that has anything to do while I'm running for president or not, but that's always been what I've told the children. Dream big. You can be anything you want to be, but you have to work for it. Nothing is handed to you unless your dad's a millionaire, and then you might be able to, and you can buy yourself a business and do a whole bunch of crazy shit. But most people have to put the effort, have the ambition, and actually want to go and get it.
Sorry about that. One of my besties just texted me.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, I mean it's 21st century stuff, with these phones and so forth, man. But let me talk about something else now. So one of the things people are also concerned about with the gun rights, but I don't really see that as a concern because of the Constitution. Now, but I do see a concern when you try to implement your policies. And the Jews, this is what the Jews are very good at, is holding things up in the courts. They're always, they have like 4 Jews on the Supreme Court: Sotomayor, Kagan, who else? Breyer, and of course Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So
How many of these people have dual citizenships with Israel?
at least 3. I don't know about Sotomayor yet. I know she is definitely Jewish from her mother's side because she's a Sephardic Jew. So, but I'm still trying to figure out like what
That is planning on being my first executive order. Is if you are a dual citizen, you cannot be a part of government.
That's awesome.
That will be the first executive order I'm writing. If you are not a 100% American citizen, you cannot be part of my Congress, part of my House, part of anything.
Of course. Well, I think that's awesome, to be honest. I mean, because this is what the world really, it's what this nation really needs. I mean, they don't have an allegiance to our laws, and they just always circumvent them all the time for their own gains. I mean, I've always said AIPAC and the Jewish Defense Leagues and so forth all operate as one organized racial unit, one compact racial unit. Though it's always been up to debate: are Jews a race and so forth? But and it's go ahead.
Why do the people in the Middle East hate them?
Well,
because they blasted black and came back white. You can't tell me that those are God's chosen. They don't look anything like the people in the fucking Middle East. They look like a bunch of inbred pedophiles to me.
Well, the nose always. I still have yet to meet an actual beautiful Jewish girl in real life. Like it's. I mean, yeah, I've seen like the picture of this one Bar Refaeli or whatever, that Jewish model, and Scarlett Johansson, who I believe uses fake touch-ups, but that's a different story itself. Still, there's really not a lot of attractive Jewish girls I've met.
I think a lot of these people have been remade, and I think a lot of them are trainees.
Well, that would explain Netanyahu's choice of a wife.
Or Obama's, or I mean, a lot of these people are friggin' with trannies, and they don't tell you.
Oh, yeah,
it's just like the stuff with pedophiles. Everybody in Hollywood knows what's going on. The people in DC know what's going on, but the mainstream's not trying to stop it because the mainstream most of the people that are in the mainstream are married to people that are in politics.
That is very true. I mean, I did post today about in San Francisco that man that was caught with a bunch of child pornography that was a politician is only going to do 6 months. That's it, 6 months.
Who was this?
Let me get his name for you, sir, because this is on my this is on my I posted.
This is an actual well-known person.
Let me get his name for you. So his name, let me get the articles out. His name is Enrique Pierce. He's a San Francisco political consultant and attorney. He was busted 2 years ago for possessing over 4,900 images and videos of child pornography, including the sadistic rape of infants and toddlers. And he only came to accept 6 months in a county jail. And these were all felonies. These were all felony charges.
Yeah, I'm surprised you got that long. Freaking, I see people all the time in my city. Freaking, I don't know how many there are here, but I know it's pretty close to 2,000 pedophiles in my friggin' city. It's friggin' sickening. And friggin' these people are getting 3 months with 2 years probation and shit like that.
Oh, yes.
If broke-ass motherfuckers are getting 3 months, 2 years probation, what do you think rich motherfuckers are getting?
Well, ironically, I mean, he had a great attorney, I guess. You know, I mean, they got him with 6 months for possession or control of child pornography, receiving and concealing stolen property, more than 600.
Yeah, well,
it's funny, of all the 4,900 images, they only said only 600 of them counted.
Yeah, and what happens is you get lawyers, you get attorneys, you get the DEA, you get all these people working together, and you get a judge that they have in their back pocket who gets bribed. And it doesn't, I don't know how often it happens, but I know it happens. And that's the serious issue at hand, is the people that you're putting in a justice system aren't looking for just justice, they're looking for handouts.
Ugh. Sad state of affairs this world.
And that's how it continues to go. If these people are willing to sacrifice their souls for money and sell those souls to the devil, that's what they're going to do.
Wow.
That's why a lot of people you see in a really good position and their life's going great, a lot of those people, their life hits rock bottom. And how do they pick themselves back up again? Because they find somebody that's willing to say, hey, I'll give you a bunch of money if you do this. J.K. Rowling, she hit rock fucking bottom and then made Harry Potter. Just made it out of the blue. You don't think she had plenty of freaking people behind her that had money to push that book?
Mm-hmm.
And that happens all the time. I freaking had a friend who got a letter from a secret society called the Legion. Yeah, was talking about freaking, we'll give you $1 million, you just need to come down to Texas and meet us, and blah, blah, blah. It was actually talking about people that were in the secret society and shit. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. It came in the fucking mail.
The only closest contact I've ever had to a secret society, even the Masons, was, actually it's been, 2 occasions. One, I keep getting them on Twitter where they keep on messaging me. They follow my tweets. Then they send me a message to buy their merchandise. I'm like, not interested. And then there was this one Masonic Lodge. I live in Houston, obviously, so it was one off on Westheimer at Highway 6, just behind the Best Buy location. And of course, I try to enter. They're like, no, we're having our meeting, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it's obvious. They're trying to hide. They're hiding things, but I already exposed a lot of them actually on my website, and I already have a list of all the Masons and a list of really, the murders they've done throughout history, throughout time. Just been an awful experience. But I want to talk about education now because this is something that's I guess you could say it's kind of important to me as an educator. Um, what to do about education. I mean, this country is among one of the worst of the developed countries when it comes to education. And they keep on throwing money at it, but it never gets fixed.
Right, because they're pulling stuff that's important to the children, like music, sports, stuff that actually helps these children find something that they want to do to build a career around in the future. And they're implementing Common Core, which is teaching you shit that doesn't even make sense. Like, I saw a freaking thing that said, how do you get 10 out of 8 plus 5? And the kid said, you can't. And the teacher said, yeah, you can. You do 8 plus 2, and then you add 3, and you get 13. Okay, but that wasn't even the fucking question.
Yeah, they call that Common Core math. As a math teacher, I'm like, that's obviously a bunch of BS.
Right, I plan on cutting it freaking probably the first day. That needs to go. Freaking education needs to come back. The budget and stuff that we have needs to be used for proper education.
Good.
That's not what's happening. And parents aren't going to the schools and friggin' put their cars and friggin' going up and friggin' standing up in front and actually fighting it. There's 2 or 3 that go in and talk to the principal, and the principal's like, yeah, you can get the fuck out of school. Because people aren't uniting and fighting for better educations for their kids. Because people aren't out fighting and trying to get better books for the kids. If people united and actually went as a group instead of one person, we could make a change.
That is true.
Seriously, we could do it overnight. And if you had 300 parents go to a high school and all of them went in and friggin' looked at the principal and said, we have to have a friggin' talk and we have to do it now. We want to use it in the gym and we want the kids there. You'd make a difference. But not enough parents give a shit.
Wow. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, a lot of the complaints that I hear from parents is not even about like grades or about tests. It's about discipline and about a lot of things to complain about is bullying, but they don't realize that that's something that's always going to exist no matter what. There's always going to be kids that get picked on because of how they look, how they talk, how they dress, what they wear.
It's a popularity contest.
Exactly. I mean that's because school in this country is so much of a social issue, a social realm, that it really just education really doesn't even matter anymore. It's like educating the minds. I mean, thank God this is gonna be my last year teaching because I've grown tired of the what I call the BS. They got the STAR testing that determines all this funding in the state of Texas, but the kids who you get are so far behind that you grow them 1 or 2 grade levels. It doesn't matter because they failed the test miserably.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring up something that I'm sure you see being in the career choice you have, and I'm sure plenty of parents and plenty of kids also see it. There's always that one kid that normally sits by himself.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it, and normally that kid is the smartest person in the room, and nobody else even talks to him because he doesn't fit in with the stupidity and the freaking popularity contest. I'm sorry, but winning a popularity contest, you don't get shit. What do you get? A bunch of loser friends that want to fucking murder people in 6 years and go to prison? Yeah, that's a great life choice.
Yeah, I call them douchebags. Literally, that's always been my definition for it anyways.
Well, that's seriously what's happening is these bullies and stuff are getting friends and getting more power. Friggin' one of the kids that is very close to me is in Taekwondo. Friggin' told me that he didn't want to spar, that he didn't like it. I looked right at him because he likes picking on his friggin' 7-year-old sister and his 2-year-old brother. I looked right at him and said, leave them alone, go whoop some ass. Friggin' he went and did his sparring day. Friggin' got first place there today. So, I mean, I'm proud of the kid. But you have to actually tell these people you can do it. You can actually, if you believe in yourself, you can actually do something. But too many parents are too busy yelling at their kids, "You're a fucking loser, you're stupid." That's not going to build their self-esteem, and you're lucky that your kid doesn't kill himself when they're not.
Yeah, I actually saw a story that on my web. Well, I saw a story that this kid who killed himself because of he thought this girl he liked had committed suicide, but the girl ended up faking it, and when he found out, he was embarrassed and he just gonna kill himself, and it was
I
sad.
believe I know the story you're talking about, and it's two 13-year-olds. And what happened was the kid was going out with the girl, and the girl faked her death. Yeah, the girl faked her death. Had her friends committed into it, and everything was. Her friends were writing "We miss you" and stuff. And the boy, he's only 13. He doesn't know what real love is. All he knows is, wow, I really like this girl. I lost somebody that I thought cared about me, and he went and killed himself. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not a game. I don't give a shit how old you are. You can't be doing stupid shit like that. Like, I even put up a week and a half ago. Like, what you're talking about and what I just talked about happened 4 or 5 days ago. I put up a week and a half ago. I wonder how many suicides Facebook prevents compared to how many suicides Facebook has committed. And it's a serious question. I would really like to know that stat.
Well, I would really want. I mean, the focus on Facebook seems to be on shutting down. I mean, I remember like towards the middle of last year, they kept on yelling about the so-called Holocaust deniers. I'm like, well, I don't deny the Holocaust. I just say that lots of it is fabricated. You know, I really am a minimizer of the Holocaust. You know,
I don't deny the Holocaust because you can't deny shit that doesn't happen.
it's precisely. I mean, and of course that's what they focus on. You know, the Holocaust denial, those who target certain groups and so forth. But of course, you know, if I was to report that someone wants to kill me because I've getting these death threats I get, and I report it, nothing happens. You know, but you know they'll be up in arms because you post a link about how Hitler was right. That's what really is the focus on Facebook. I mean, and the funny thing is that if I was running Facebook, I was like, they can actually make more money if they would stop censoring people. They literally would make more money if they let people post historical revisionism, out the Jews, and so forth. And of course, because most of the people who use Facebook use it only to post pictures of their selfies with their animals, vacation, pictures with their best friends.
Huh? I see cats and what they made for dinner plenty.
Exactly. Like scrolling through my news feed, you know, you see people talk about, you know, the likes I get is like, you know, from exposing the how the government's corrupting people and shooting the vaccines and so forth. You get 1 like, but yet this person who posted about got drunk with my best friend over the weekend, over 100 likes. I'm like, huh? Or this hot chick takes the picture and 200 likes. I'm like, yeah, that's really more important, guys. Stand a nice piece of meat versus exposing the truth.
Or the new trend that's going on. Oh, I took a new picture, but I couldn't post it here, so I put it in the comments. And you see like freaking 85, 87 likes. Like, what the fuck? Like, you already know that the picture's on in the comments. What?
Well, they're like it. Personally, I think they do that because they want to see, okay, if they like it as a comment, if I post it as my profile picture, I'll get more likes. You know? And I get more people who like it. And I'm like, wow. Wow.
I don't believe in any of this stuff that's trending. I never get into any of that. Like, you've seen my Facebook page. Like, there's none of that crap on there. Like, I'm a diehard sports fan, but you don't see me posting about sports because it doesn't teach anybody. And that's the whole reason for my Facebook. I don't understand, like you were saying, friggin' posting about your drunk weekend or any. That doesn't make you cool. I mean, I'm glad in your mind you think it is. But in reality, it's just you going out and having fun with your friends, and you need to post all over the place. Your friends know you went with them. Be happy that your friends had a fun time with you.
Oh, precisely. Now, like if I would like I- like my stuff is very varied, and I'm beginning to realize that with certain groups who follow me, it's because they want to see me post pictures of myself or with other people, and that's what they come for. I'm like, well, you'll see that sometimes, but
Yeah,
ultimately, you'll
well,
mostly see my links and articles and memes of me bashing, Jews and Masons and so forth. That's what
like
you see.
if you're coming to my page to see who I'm hanging out with and stuff, you came to the wrong page. Like that's not what I'm writing on my Facebook. I'm not like, hey, I live here. Anybody want to come over? I see that crap all the time too. I see people blasting their numbers all over the place. Yeah, that's a good way to freaking have people come to your door.
Yeah. Oh, it's just
all the time. And that's why I think the whole, we're doing these bombings for people's security. I think it's the freaking greatest freaking joke I've heard all year. Whose security are you freaking? Syria wasn't making any attempt to come over here and do anything. So who are you protecting?
Yeah, and I want to talk to you about the migrant situation because I know in Europe a lot of especially a lot of nationalists are upset about that. Their own homeland is being overrun by third world migration. But of course, I've always said stop bombing them, and they'll stop coming to your country.
Right.
The Syrian refugees said we wanted to stay in Syria. We didn't want to go to Europe, but we had nothing. So what could we have? I mean, Israel obviously that's not an option. Israel won't take in any refugees. Saudi Arabia won't take in any refugees. Turkey does.
They're the ones pushing for America and
Yeah.
Europe to take them, but they're not doing it.
Of course not. Yemen. I mean, well, Yemen is a different story because they're being bombed also. They're also fleeing. But Saudi Arabia won't take them. Jordan won't take them. Turkey takes a lot of them, obviously. But why should only the Europeans be the ones to shoulder this blame, shoulder these people? I mean, yes, we do have the British government who does partake in NATO that bombs people. I've always said, stop bombing them, stop supporting terrorists that are killing their people, and maybe, just maybe, they'll leave you alone. Maybe.
They would. They would. I'm sorry, but there's no mass beheadings going on. If there was, you'd see it a lot more on videos than you see. The only time you see any of these supposed big-time beheadings and stuff is when you watch Fox News. What does Fox News go and hang out with them? I mean, Fox News is the one calling them goat rapers too. Aren't they the ones going and watching them rape goats? Like, how does Fox News know what these people are doing unless these people are actually with mainstream? I'm pretty sure when they had Osama bin Laden's tape, that nobody could find him. How did it get to Fox News? He sent it to him? Like I just don't understand how it works. Like, you're calling all these people terrorists, but your camera looks like it's standing 6 feet away from you.
Well, because the so-called war on terror was never designed to be war. A lot of these wars, people don't realize they're not exactly designed to be won. They're designed to be continued with new characters and new scenarios and situations unfolding all the time. And that's the part that's really scary. Like it's not gonna ever be decided that it's gonna be, that America will beat the Russians, and it's one of my biggest concerns when I talk to people is that ultimately, yes, the Jews do what they do and so forth, and the Masons, but we let them get as far as they do. I really believe we have, and we need to the human race needs to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, what can we do? I mean, your campaign's a good start, And I like that you're going to go visit people from all over the country to spark an interest. Hopefully sparks even bigger interest in historical revisionism. You know, and
Well,
so go
I
ahead.
mean, let's look at what we have over there. We have a whole bunch of places that we've taken over. Like I said earlier, Iraq, Afghanistan, Israel. We're pretty much Israel's bitch, and all these places could use green screen if they wanted to, because that's how much friggin' right we have to these countries. So you put somebody in a friggin' costume. I mean, in what world are people in the Middle East in an orange jumpsuit? You saw that video, right?
Yes.
Like, in what world are they just around in an orange jumpsuit? It looks like a straight up jail suit from America. Why is that over there?
Well, it's. So go ahead.
I just don't get it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, do you have any like upcoming like plans besides? I mean, I know you're going to come to Houston to go ahead and of course to see me. I mean, I'm going to try to. I just wish I could just get more people. Working where I work at, most people I don't really care for my style of politics, and their politics is really the whole Democrat versus Republican BS. That's
I plan on bringing 10 to 12 from my place. I'm hoping to get my brother and some of my friends from Florida to come too. I think we'll be okay.
Okay, that's a very good start. I mean, that's really a good start. I mean, getting on the radios is obviously a good way.
I'm also trying to get them to bring money. I'm hoping to throw an event. So.
Wow.
I know I'm coming down with $2,500 spending. I know that to try to do something.
I can. I mean, it's funny. Like I don't. People think I get paid a lot for my website, but I really don't. I only get what maybe $5 a month from it.
Well, I plan on coming down end of July. Anybody in Houston that wants to come friggin' chill, Nicholas Pride, I have a Facebook. You can hit me up. We can talk.
Awesome, and I'll definitely put all the links to your Facebook, my Facebook, my public page. I don't know. Are you gonna be doing the whole public page, Twitter, even Instagram, social media accounts, or?
I'm gonna be setting up a Twitter. I'm definitely not doing Instagram.
Well, I mean,
I'm all set with that, man. I'm down with writing to people and stuff. Instagram definitely is not my thing.
I have Instagram just to post like pictures of my travels, basically. That's really what's good for.
Well, that's what I needed to hear. You have an Instagram.
Well, yes, I have it, but to post only in my travels. It's more of like the liar side of life. It's not like, oh no, a politician said that they wanted to go bomb this country. I have to put it up there for everyone to see. I just.
Well, that's what this is gonna be for. When I come down to Houston, we'll take plenty of pictures. We can put it on your Instagram. I'm sure some of my friends have it.
Yeah, of course.
I don't have to have the account for pictures to be sent.
And are you gonna have a website too? Because no offense to everyone, but I mean, it's always good to have an avenue outside of Facebook and even social media, but your own website for what you plan to run for.
Right. I plan on doing a page, Pride for President 2020. I don't know if it's going to be .com, .gov. Don't know what that's going to be at the end yet. But I do plan on making a page. I plan on putting my GoFundMe on that. I plan on actually trying to reach out, talk to different communities. I really want to hit at least 4 states next year. And I plan on hitting New York, California, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Michigan in 2019. So.
And of course, this is going to be independently run, right? Or is it going to be part of a political party of any kind, or?
I plan on starting the Pride Party. It'll be a third party. Anybody is welcome to be part of the staff that gets out and promotes. I encourage anybody that actually believes in what I'm talking about to get a hold of me so we can figure out from city to city.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it on my own. Like I said, I'd like to hit 4 states next year. I'd like to hit 6 and 19, and I'd like to hit probably 12 and 20. But we have to actually make progress, and people have to actually try to get my name out there and start standing up, like I said.
There was this one guy who was running for office, I think in 2015 or 2016. I don't know his name. He was like he was basically like a friend with a lot of the 9/11 Truth Movement guys, and he was posting his stuff. He had a public page and all, and he was really using social media. And one thing he would do, and this is something that you could think about doing, is because I have a huge following, like over 7,000 people following and such.
Yeah.
You can tag me. You can tag me like when you make a post, you just tag me in it, and then that way all my followers can see it too. So that way, more people can see it, and it can be all over Facebook more often. That's just.
I don't know if you've said your name to the people, but I'd like people to actually get a hold of you so you can get in contact with me, just in case they can't get a hold of me.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, of course, right now I can't do anything because I'm on a post block. But my post block is over on May 4th.
Right.
I mean, God forbid they'll find. I'm gonna be very honest. They're gonna find something to ban me with again. I mean, because they couldn't find anything I'd posted in the last 6 months to ban me with, so they had to go back a year later to find something to ban me with.
And that's why
it's crazy.
Different ways of spelling. Like I spell type KYK3. I spell nigger N1GG3R.
Mm-hmm.
Like I put numbers into this stuff just so even if they try to ban me, they can't ban you for writing something that's on a real one.
But you see, I get banned now for stuff on my own website. I mean, I don't censor myself on my website at all. Period. And because of a title they don't like, they'll ban the post and ban me. And it's like okay, well, I'm like, okay, well, first of all, this is my website you're banning my stuff from. They said, well, we don't want it on our website. I'm like,
right. Yeah, but it's total censorship. It's total bullshit.
But VK has no. VK has no problem with what I post. And the thing about VK is also owned by Russian Jews. So, I mean, it's like they're more pissed off about what I say and do than other Jews are. It's just very strange. Just a very strange occurrence. But Nick, we're gonna cut it short here. But thanks so much for coming on, man. Really appreciate it a lot, though. Okay.
Not a problem at all. I just want to make sure people know. Get out. Vote 2020. My name's Nicholas Pride. Vote. Get out.
Okay. Sounds awesome, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.